right, we're rolling. Welcome to Wilder Minds. We're back. Another one. We're just sitting here chatting as we get ready for dropped. Going through weight counts right now on the drop trip.
We always seem to be over. We're just talking about how much weight has changed over the years as far as just what we bring. We used to bring backups for backups, and camera gear has shrunk in size. Batteries have lasted longer. It's just one of those things that we really know what we need to bring now. And we'll bring 3 cameras. We won't bring 4.
Yeah.
We won't bring another dedicated still photo camera. We can use the A1.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, but it's we've kind of figured it out.
We have. So we're chatting through that because we've got a guest on set today from Winchester Safes, Mr. Greg Walters. Welcome, man.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, this is exciting. Greg's in. We're doing some content for the app, which is exciting. We're also going through a bunch of stuff with him. So we're proud to have Winchester Safes as a partner. We got a couple of the new ones right now. We got the Evolution, which I am so proud. Like, it is the coolest safe.
Big, big. I love
Badass. It looks so good in my barn. And every now and then I just go over to it, open it, and just keep sliding it out. Like, I put like a bow on it. Yeah. Like, it's like a new toy. I just go and I put my bow in there, and I'm like, And it was funny because I don't normally keep that bow in a safe, and I put it in there. And then the other day I was looking for my bow. And I was, where did I do with my bow? And then I'm like, I put it in the safe. I went over there and I just slid it out. So it's pretty
Actually,
cool.
Rich and I put it in there.
You did,
for the photo shoot.
Yeah, you guys.
That's probably why you forgot.
Yeah, that's exactly where it was. I had no idea where it was.
It's such a good setup.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut some videos later today. I see we got a set up over there with some safe stuff on it. So.
Yeah, Base Camp's going to get a more educational series on it, which is cool. So we're super excited about that.
Well, I think maybe one of the best things to do, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Greg?
Yeah.
What do you do, where you come from? Just give everybody a look.
Yeah. So that story kind of goes back, this will date me a little bit, going back to mid-'80s. I got involved in this industry.
Okay.
Yep.
My old man got me into it. So been doing it for quite a while. It's a family business.
Yeah.
We started it out in California in 1989, moved it to Texas in 1991, and we've been there ever since.
Yeah.
Company is Granite Security, but we operate as Winchester Safes.
Yep.
And we got that license 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was a game changer for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't really have an identity. We were out there operating as Granite, or I think we were putting Excalibur on some product and just kind of looking for an identity. And Winchester certainly gave us that, and it's been a game changer ever since. But it's been a ride. It really has. The safe industry really, in our opinion, hasn't evolved a whole lot. At the end of the day, it's a square box with a lock on it, but we're doing some things that we're changing the way the consumer interacts with it. The gun sticks is a different storage system that we've come up with that is super unique, and after the consumer uses it, they love it. The slide out panel for the bow.
Yep.
Nobody's kind of showing the bow hunter any love, so we're kind of doing that a little bit. We've got a utility shelf that we're going to intro that's going to come off the back side of the door to kind of give you a place to get set up and do your stuff. So we're going to continue coming out with new stuff and innovating, and
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
So you mentioned the gun sticks. So for me, that is a game changer of storage. Like the gun sticks, I've got obviously different calibers in there, different size shotguns, and that's really what you guys were looking at is like, how can I store I have a 410 and a 22, right? So it's got a short barrel on it. But I was always looking for a place, okay, where's this going to go in the safe? The gun sticks, you just put that rod down through the middle of it, and now I've got them so organized in a line, and it's just so easy to just boom, and they're out of there.
Well, yeah,
so.
the middle of the storage area you can utilize now, where you used to just put it on the outside.
Yeah,
in the middle was just an empty spot, which is key.
Yeah, the gun sticks are a game changer for me.
When did you guys kind of think about that stuff?
We've been kind of challenging the gun storage part of the interior for many years, and we just challenged that the U-shaped gun racks today that we all use just don't lend themselves to today's weapons. And you mentioned we're putting optics on these things and all kinds of furniture and everything else, and the U-shaped gun racks just don't work. And there's a lot of wasted space. So taking the rifle and going up with it and stacking them in there, you're able to utilize that space a lot better.
Yeah.
And then you're able to get to your weapons. I mean, nobody shoots that weapon in the back because you can't get to it.
Yeah.
Now you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get to it a lot easier now.
Yeah.
So it's a game changer
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
You're talking about operating under the name Winchester. I think, being able to operate under that name means something.
It does.
And I think what's really cool about it is, licensing deals happen across the industry and across all industries, but one of the most important things is being able to live up to that name. And I think what's awesome to see with you guys is I've come to learn more about you guys as a company, the products you're putting out there, is you actually truly live up to the legacy that comes along with that name. So durability, trustworthiness, rugged, always trying to push the envelope, trying to be innovative. You guys certainly do an awesome job of that. Is that something you guys talk about through the company regularly? Like, hey guys, look, this is how we have to operate.
It is. It was a whole cultural change for us, really, to kind of go from a family business that was operating with, someone of no identity to then the next day you're operating as Winchester.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of standards had to change. And in our customer base, when they buy a Winchester gun safe, they look at that as a premium product.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
if they have a problem with it, they expect a very high level of service and attention and detail. And so we spend a lot of time training our customer service internally to just satisfy the customer. And oftentimes the customer will call up and they can't get in it. Maybe a battery went dead or something. They're already frustrated. We don't need to add to that. They're just trying to get in their safe, get their gun out, get their medication, whatever. We don't need to add to that. Just, try to take care of the situation best you can. So, yeah, we have to live up to a very high level of standard.
Oh, you guys do
brand
it.
name.
Yeah, and I
Definitely
think with Winchester, what they always do is they innovate, and they always think, where's the
do.
gaps? Where are the holes in the industry? What can we do to make our product better? And with gun sticks, with the new door technology, the slide out for the bow. I mean, all those things with the shelf, the things that are built into that safe, nobody's done before. And I think that's what you put that thinking hat on, that Winchester hat, and you live that.
Well, and the whole idea behind that is we want the consumer to interact with the product more. And we want it to be more than just something you open the door, stick something in there, and forget about for a couple of weeks. We want them to kind of interact with it more. Yeah. So those features that we're coming up with, we think promote that.
Yeah.
A guy can now store more guns in there, whether he had outgrown that safe, and the gun sticks can adapt to any of my competitors' products. So maybe he's outgrown that safe and he's got some guns underneath the bed or hidden in the closet that now he can put in his gun safe and properly store them.
Yeah. No, that is literally what happened to me. Is I had guns on the outside of it, and the gun sticks allowed me to kind of put them in a row. And you mentioned kind of in the back versus in the front. I kind of have them in order. It's like my draft picks. I have my front guns up front. Like, I know I got my 350 Legend, I got the 300, I got the shot, like the things where I can easily get to. And then there's my fun guns where I'm like, I'm going to shoot. And it's funny. It's like I put them in order based on that versus before. Like you said, they were just kind of in there, and I'd have to kind of do the search. You pull the barrel and you're looking and you're like, which one? So yeah,
a lot of guys are organizing them based on a hunting event, putting their rifles up front and shotguns in back, and then swapping it out. Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff. And you can tweak the system a little bit. You can cut the rods to kind of customize it. Yeah. You only need about 2, 3, 4 inches of engagement with that rod in the barrel. Yeah. And then cut that rod or trim it, and then just pull out from the top, take your weapon out, go do your thing. Yeah. And then reverse that going in. It's a great system.
Yeah.
You know what amazes me, and I noticed this when I started loading my safe the first time I got one, is actually how many guns a man can accumulate. Is there such thing as too many? Like you mentioned, guns in a closet or under the bed. Like, I literally started going around like collecting everything, and Lisa's like, "What's that one for?" I'm like, "It just is for." And I don't know what it's for, but it is for. I have. Why do you have it? I'm like, "Because I do."
Yeah.
So I mean, it's. I'm sure there's a lot of people.
Like,
out
do
there
you
like
need
that.
all these?
I know.
Yeah.
I do actually. For what? I'm like, I don't know, but someday I'll need them.
What's amazing too is when you get that safe and you start organizing it and putting the stuff in there, it's like a new house.
Yeah.
Like you're constantly thinking, oh, that I should put that in the safe, and I can switch it and put this shelf and dedicate this shelf to knives or whatever. It's just it's another step in just your organization for the season, for all your stuff, all the gear. And guys, I mean, I'm a collector kind of too.
Oh, you are.
You guys know that.
Yeah, you are.
I love like the things that mean something, and it might not be worth shit, but I love the fact that I can put it somewhere. All the Alaska trips, all the things we've done, the places we've been. I write journals. I can keep them in there now, and they're not all over in my basement somewhere.
So when I got the Evolution delivered, we set it up at the barn, and we were getting ready to go do the photo shoot for it and let everybody know that we received it. And I walked out. Jason was in my locker room, and he was putting stuff in there for the photo shoot. And I came back and I looked at him like, man, that is awesome. I'm like, you got everything in here that like I never would have thought to put in here. I left everything in there. It's exactly the way you left it. Now I'm like, it's in the safe. And I would go over there, and so it was funny because he decorated the inside of my safe, and I was like, that you nailed it. I mean,
well, you had so much shit laying around, old photos, like things that I know mean something to you.
Yeah, there's
like,
newspaper clippings and articles and stuff like that. And he's like, put it in here. So he put it all in there, and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now I open it up and it looks cool. I'm like, man, look at this.
And the lighting, it just boom, lights up. And
that's part of the whole thing is like it used to be a gun safe, right? But no longer, especially as I get older and we get more stuff with the kids and stuff of meaning, it's way more than a gun safe.
Way more.
It's an everything safe. I mean, we've got travel documents. All my wife's, U.S. immigration stuff is in there. Like we've got so much in there. Just to keep it protected in the event. It's one of those deals like it's in there in case anything ever happens, right? The one thing I'd love to hear is the stories you guys must hear from people about like, hey man, I had a catastrophic event, and do you guys get that kind of stuff?
Wherever your adventure takes you, count on Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's to make it memorable. From the timberline to the campsites to the lake and the range, get your family outfitted with the right gear. With premium brands like Worldwide Sportsman, Ascend, Instinct, Redhead, and Natural Reflections, they've got the apparel and the gear to make it the best adventure ever. Stop by today for a one-of-a-kind shopping experience in-store or online at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com. See for yourself at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's stores. Your adventure starts here. All right, let's talk about beer for a second. You ever notice there's a big difference between Busch Light drinkers and other beer drinkers? I like to say we live on the wild side. A guy with a Busch Light in his hand, he's a man of the people. He's out there in the wild every day. He's in the trenches smashing bushies with a smile on his face. You know why? Because he doesn't care. He's not looking for a soulmate. He just needs something to wash that damn jerky down. And he's got himself a 12-pack of Freedom in a can. And when that can gets cracked, it's like opening a door to a whole different world. It's just a vibe. And if you haven't felt it, you should. So go grab yourself a case of bushies, give them a rip, and take a walk on the wild side. You've got things that matter. Memories, heirlooms, documents, firearms. And we all know that life is unpredictable. At Winchester Safes, they make sure life's unpredictable moments don't take those things from you. They use state-of-the-art methods that refuse to sacrifice quality. They put everything they have into their products, offering proven protection and peace of mind. There's only one safe company worthy of the title, the American Legend, and that's Winchester Safes. Follow at Winchester Safes or learn more on winchestersafes.com.
Yeah, we get a lot of that. And everybody hears about all these fires that's going on all over the place. And, and we probably get 12 to 15 fire claims per year, and those hit kind of home. The safe sits over there, and it doesn't do anything until it has to do its job.
Right.
And usually that's to protect somebody's valuables from a home fire. And it sucks because at the end of the day, it does its job, but the customer's lost everything.
Yeah.
Except what's in there. We get those phone calls and they're like, I lost everything except for what was in the safe.
Yeah.
And so we wait until they get their lives put back together and rebuild and we replace under our warranty. We replace the safe for free. Yeah. But we often also get the stories and these come at shows where we'll have somebody come in that had a kid, whether it was their kid or friend of the child came into the house and found a gun in the house, and it didn't end well.
Yeah.
And those stories, they suck.
Yeah.
But we keep hearing those, and we keep doing what we're doing to hopefully prevent that. But yeah, we hear those stories, and this is part of the industry. You know, it's okay to have guns, but be a responsible gun owner and just lock them up. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
For sure. You're so right, though. It doesn't do anything technically.
No, it just sits
until it's time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it steps up to the plate. So, yeah, some of those fire stories, it just got to be, you know, the stuff it saves. And on one hand, for you guys, it's got to be bittersweet because you're like, hell yeah, the safe did its job, and you have your stuff. But on the other hand, you're like, man, I'm sorry you lost everything.
this poor
else.
Yeah, they had to lose everything. They lost everything.
Yeah.
You know, for my product to shine. That just it's bittersweet.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy.
Walk me back a little bit. So you guys are Granite. It's a family business. We know a lot about that in a family business. How's that been over the years? You start in California, obviously get out of that state as fast as possible. Now you're in Texas, right? That's much better state. Walk me through that a little bit. Like, how did it, like, obviously your dad, how is your dad, by the way?
Dad's good.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Real good.
So, you know, he starts the business and then is it you coming in that says, hey, let's figure out how we're going to do this? Is it a group family thing? We sit down and go, how are we going to go Winchester? Like, where does that all stem from? Is it just kind of an idea one day and you called him up? How does that work?
Well, my dad, Kyle, he was running a company out in California called American Security Products, and AMSEC developed American Security Products. They made high security safes for cash handling, storage, and that kind of stuff. And they were UL listed products, completely different and much more secure than GunSafe.
Yeah.
So he came from that industry.
Yeah.
And after 12 years of running AMSEC, he left, played golf for a year, and then we started up Granite. Started up in our house.
Yeah.
And in a room above the garage, literally.
Yeah.
And we were having local safe companies in California make product for us. We were putting our name on it.
Yeah.
And we were going to die a slow death.
Yeah.
You can't control price, quality, can't control anything.
Yeah.
And we were trying to find a niche where we needed to be. And Kyle thought, you know, we need to do something different, and we need to make a move here. And so he had two friends that from a prior life from Playtex that were in Texas. One had an engineering company, the other had a manufacturing company. And they were telling him, come to Texas, we'll help you design a product, I'll help you make parts, and you can go in the gun safe
full time.
Start making.
Yeah.
You can't do that in California, but you can come to Texas and do that.
Okay.
So that's what we did. Over dinner, he announced that we were going to sell the house and move to Texas. Wow. Sold the house, took $30,000, and off we went. And as soon as we landed, we got set up in a 2,000 square foot building. That's where we started.
Yeah.
And with that, he brought the Seas Candies account with us.
Okay.
And we were making a little high security safe for their stores. And that kind of got us going. And then we started doing the gun safe market. And then what he wanted to do there was he wanted to do something different because he had started the gun safe program at AMSEC, and it had been pretty successful.
Yeah, he knew what it could do. Yeah, he knew what it could do.
And then we started the gun safe program at Granite, and he went to UL because he had came from that industry of high security stuff, and went to UL and worked with UL to develop the UL residential security container now that all gun safe guys use. It's the standard.
Standard, yeah.
And that set us apart. And we went to the first SHOT Show, and that was it. Had we not come out of that SHOT Show with an order, game over.
Yeah, it was done.
And the last day of the show, we got an order from a dealer that kind of kept us going.
Oh wow,
And
that's awesome.
He's got the production records in a binder from back in the day.
Yeah.
And I mean, today our peak, it could be 1,300 units a day, but back in the day, 1 to 2 units a week.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Isn't that crazy?
That is awesome.
12 to 1,300 a day.
Yeah.
You guys can pump out.
Yeah.
Damn.
Last
That's
year
a lot of heavy metal, heavy everything.
Yeah.
That's a warehouse, too. You got a big, not 2,000 square foot anymore.
No. So yeah.
You said something though, a year off to play golf. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
He just wanted,
I love golf.
he wanted,
Where?
He was
How?
like, I'm taking a
Was he-
moment. right?
He came out of Amstec with a non-compete. So it was a year. So he
Got
just
it.
played golf and farted around for a year. And he said, "You got to go work." So when it all
Okay.
kind of happened, he was running Amstec for, I think it was 13 years, 14 years, and his business partner Bill Lazier, he had a couple of companies that went under, and Bill had brought a venture capitalist group in, and that group and my dad they weren't seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
So they let my dad go.
Yeah.
So he called me, and I was working at customer service. I had kind of gone through the rails, and I was working in customer service at the time, and it was lunchtime. He came in and he tapped me on the shoulder, and I was on the phone. He said, "Come see me when you're done." I said, "Okay." So I got off the phone and went in there. I thought he wanted to go to lunch. And so he said,
taking a
"Close the
permanent
door."
lunch.
I said, "Okay." So I closed the door, and he said, "Well, guess what just happened?" I said, I have no clue. He said, "I just got fired." I'm like, "For real?"
Yeah.
That, I'm 18, 19. That was, I'm like, holy.
Dad got
Dad
fired.
just got fired.
Yeah. What is happening?
What is going on?
Yeah.
And he said, "Guess what else just happened?" I said, "I don't know. You just got fired too." So I'm like, "Oh, what does all this mean?"
Guess what else? I'm going to go play golf.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Dad, you're not good.
Book us a tea time because we got a little bit of time here.
He went and played golf, and I went and worked for a local lock company, Lagarde, that was in Torrance at the time. And then we started up Granite in our house.
Yeah.
And it was me and Dad, Mom, and my brother.
Yeah. Thank God you got fired, though.
I know,
and
right,
your
right?
dad, because look what happened from
Everything
that.
happens for
Look
a
what
reason.
happened from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it because that is the definition of bootstrapping. You start in the garage, you go to the show, you lay it all on the line, like sink or swim, and the last day you get an order that's like, okay, we got life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We keep breathing for another couple days.
And
Here we go.
it's just those little progressions that you have to take because small businesses are so vulnerable, So it's, we look back over that time span, and we've definitely had some challenges, but here we are.
Yeah.
For sure. So cool.
Well, we talk about all the time. I mean, being entrepreneurs and building a business and doing all that stuff, and we chat about it literally on a daily. But I think where you're at is, people see instant results, right? So you see today Winchester Safes, and they go, "Man, that's Winchester Safes." What they didn't see was that, right? They don't see the 15 to 20 years that it took, and those little things along the way, the valleys that you were in, the bets you made on yourselves and you guys as a family. In those moments, you're like, let's put it out there. And then, boom, one hits. And then you're like, okay, now we can go another 6 months. And then you're like, boom, another one hits. And now we got and all of a sudden you look back in this cycle and you're like, okay, now we're Winchester Safes. Yeah. But it's not an overnight success. It's a true grind. And so to see where you guys are at today, it speaks volumes on product and you guys as a family and a whole. I mean, that's a whole dynamic that just to make it through like that is hard enough. I mean, as we know, we're all together. We're all family. We are considered all family here for 20 years, and it's the same way. It's like, but you can have whatever argument it is that you're going to have, whatever dissertation you can go through, and then you go have a beer and you're like, well, because everybody has so much passion for the business.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, we all have one goal.
Yeah.
And as long as everybody's going towards that goal, it works.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
So how did, obviously the quality's always been something you guys have stood on before Winchester was even on the front of that safe. Is there an example, though, that when that logo, that horse and rider went on the front of that safe, that got you an opportunity for bigger business?
Yeah, when we were still Granite, we didn't have really an identity. And we had got some Sam's Club's business. And we came up with a brand that we were putting on the Sam's Club product called Excalibur.
Yeah,
they're
and I
still
do
out
remember
there.
that. I remember those, yeah.
A ton of them out there.
Yeah.
We did hunter green and burgundy for a while, two really good colors, and they sold tar out of them.
Yep.
But we were splitting that business with Remington. They had half the stores and we had half the stores. And my dad developed a really good relationship with the buyer. My mom did too. The guy was Frank Kerr, him and my mom loved each other.
Yep.
And we kept saying, "Frank, we want all your business." And he said, "You got to get a better brand, guys." And so we went and talked to Colt and Wells Fargo, and we thought, Wells Fargo might fit, but
Yeah.
they didn't want anything to do with it. And then the opportunity got put in front of us with the Winchester brand, and got that, and then Kyle went to Sam's and said, "Look what I got."
Yeah.
And the next day they switched over, and I mean, that's the big impact, and that kind of tells you what some of these buyers are looking for, because they understand their customer.
Yeah.
They know what
They know what they're looking for. Yeah.
Sure do.
Well, I think it also speaks volumes for Winchester in general for just a second, because there's licensees who are just like, hey, here's my mark, good luck. And then there's Winchester, right? I mean, it's a fully integrated thing. You guys are always working together. They're always building up. They're promoting. And I think that's a huge difference too, is you get the support of the actual ammunition company.
Yeah.
You do. They're not hands off by any stretch. They're interactive with us. They get us involved in some things. They're great to be involved with and aligned with.
Yeah. Well, it's an awesome product. I absolutely love it. So yeah.
Shifting gears, just want to talking about the grind. You know what else was a bit of a grind, was that damn turkey hunt.
Let's talk
about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that in a second. So to set the stage for just a second, we have this is Longbeard TSS before TSS came out.
Yes.
So this is the year before TSS came
Still
out.
secret.
Still secret. Everything was under NDA, lock and key, all the stuff, right? We can sit here today and talk about it because it's an awesome turkey load. But we have a small group, a media hunt that came and hunted with us. We went out to the ranch.
Yep.
Greg was one of those guys, and this is the first turkey hunt that you had outside of the state, right?
That's correct.
Like outside of that state. So
I had hunted once in Texas, and then
yeah. So this is like he's coming to Michigan, and that's the first time we met in person.
That's right.
Yeah, and just kind of, what a better place to meet than camp, right? I mean, that was so fun.
Run and gun, true Michigan style.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that hunt last night at dinner, Cliff and I, and kind of how that whole thing boiled down, and like you said, the load was secret. We couldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
But that load gave me the confidence when those birds came in, and you were there.
Oh yeah.
They were all grouped together. They were sticking right next to each other. They didn't separate. And then they did that, and then they were headed out to the right.
Yeah.
And I think you said,
I think I yelled shoot.
Shoot.
Pick one.
Boom, pick one, and I
We
picked one.
We had 5 long beards, all with about 10 to 11 inch beards.
Yeah.
There wasn't one that was bigger than the other one, and the fact that we got 5 long beards. Casey was with us. You were calling.
Yeah, I was calling.
I was calling and jumped up in front with you,
Yeah.
and then basically I was like, just pick one. I mean, shoot. They're all amazing.
My favorite part, though, is we ran all over Hell's Creation looking for birds, trying to find them. Where'd we end up?
Your backyard.
My backyard.
Your backyard.
Literally.
We went to the barn and we had to pick some stuff up
Yeah.
in my house, and we got out of the truck and struck. And I was like, sometimes it works. We struck and it sounded, did it not? Like, I mean, it was like, we're like, whoa, what's going on? I mean, we hit it perfectly. So we ran through the back food plot, ran through, jumped the fence. I have permission on my neighbor's yard, on my neighbor's property.
Yeah.
And
I think you were sending a text to the
I was.
neighbor, don't come
Don't
out.
come out. I was like, I was hoping he wasn't going to drive down the driveway. I'm like, don't, because these birds are coming right down this man's driveway.
Also, let's clarify, when we say yard, we're not in like a subdivision.
No. It's 15 acres
I feel like
total.
There's people in their minds looking at
thinking
like,
we're-
the houses and
we're
subdivisions.
sitting in the yard.
Dave's over there hosing the car.
Yeah,
And, you know what I
it's
mean?
a 15 acre between him and I, the plot of
Butted
land.
up to hundreds of acres of
state land. So yeah, I live in the middle of the woods, but the yard in the back was funny. And then you didn't know it was my house or barn, so purposely he thought we were hunting. Like you're like, this is where we're going, and it maybe because we stayed at the lodge, so he didn't know it was my house until afterwards. You were like, wait, is this actually your house? I'm like, yeah, it's my barn. There's my safe in here. Let's go check it out. So yeah, he was like, wait, this is crazy. So
Crazy.
Yeah. Man, that was fun.
It was a good hunt, man. It was a good hunt.
5 toms. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time that we've had that. I mean, we've had triples, doubles, but 5 standing next to each other like that, coming from all directions.
grouped
That
up.
was the weirdest, craziest fun hunt. And loud, too.
Oh, yeah.
Very
They
vocal.
came in quick. They came in hot.
They did. They came in hot, and they were vocal.
Yep. I also remember the speed at which you jumped up and ran.
He was up pretty quick. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Which wasn't fast. I looked at the video. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But it was not fast. But it was legs. I think were a little
I
getaway,
sleeping.
getaway
So I had
sticks
the sleepy knees from here down, and so when I jumped up, I had kind of like a gallop because I had no
a hobble.
feeling. Yeah,
it's a hobble.
And then I got
sitting for a
I've
while.
been sitting, and then I got the feeling back and got some more speed under me. Which,
getaway sticks
yeah, I
weren't
mean, I'm not running a 4.2. Let's be honest. So it was
6'2", maybe
6.2, maybe 7.2 with a pulled groin.
You know what? Have you seen this where it's really funny, and we'll get back to this. There's a husband and wife that said, you know what? I've never seen you run full speed before. So they set the camera up, and they each ran, horizontally across the screen on a sidewalk as fast as they could. They're like in their 40s.
Yeah.
It was so funny because they're not fast, and they just laugh because they're like, we are so slow. Like, I haven't sprinted in years.
Yeah.
And the guy says to his wife, I've never seen you sprint in my life. So it's like, well, let's show it.
It's so true, though.
It's so good.
Sprinted.
It's like the thing they say with the Olympics where they should have one average guy in a lane just to show
Just to show.
comparison.
Just to
So
show
like
the
when
difference.
they start, they should just have an average guy lane where it's just like, this would be me, and then there's all the Olympic
I want to be that
athletes.
average guy.
Yeah.
Right? I think it'd be so
Well, it's like
great.
putting a pack mule in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah,
It's like,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I love how we watch that stuff on TV. We're all like, you're so fucking slow, and then we're sitting on the couch watching it. You know what I mean? Ooh, it's funny.
So last year you went to Missouri, to
Yes.
Indian Hills, Winchester Deer Camp. It was a tough hunt. I know Rich was on it. I'm almost done with that episode right now, so I've looked at all the stuff. But it was the second week of gun season, wasn't it? Last year.
Second week, yes.
Second week,
Yeah. What'd you see? How was your hunt?
A little spotty.
Yeah.
They've got a benchmark there of what they want you to shoot.
Yeah.
So you're always questioning that. Is that big enough? But we saw a lot of good deer, but nothing that was worth shooting. But there was a couple of guys that got some nice.
Got some
Yeah, Ryan
did.
Yeah.
from Winchester shot a great
Yeah,
buck.
shot a good buck.
Who else?
Did
Ryan-
Kyle?
Kyle did.
Kyle? Yep.
Yep.
Kyle shot a
Danya
nice buck.
should have.
So this is
Danya should have.
is that first buck?
Yes.
Yeah, Brandon, if you're listening, or Danya, sorry, but we watched the footage. You should have shot.
the 150-inch solid deer.
Yeah.
But, again, Danya and Brandon aren't like big whitetail hunters, so
Yeah.
they weren't sure. And I'm looking at, I wasn't there again, but I'm looking at the footage that Rich and Brandon laid down the night before. They do the meeting.
Yeah, the
and it's
speech.
kind of like the scare meeting. It's like, well, you
That's
can't
the scare meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's this buck. It's a euro of a 140-inch 3-year-old. Don't shoot this one. Here's a 155-inch 5-year-old. This is the one you want to shoot.
Yeah.
And I could see, there's shots. Everybody, like some of them that weren't real comfortable. Like, I don't know if I can
registered.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm going to be a little. I hope I see one that is like a no doubter.
Yeah.
But there's that tweener, and I can see how Danya and Brandon. It's the first deer that came out. Literally the first deer walked 80 yards right to left, right in front of them through the cornfield.
Yeah.
And Danya, she doesn't even have her gun up. She has her binos up, and she says, "I'm going to take a picture and send it, send it, and see if it's big enough." And I'm thinking that's going to be too late.
I got the text, and I was like, if it's not too late, hammer that deer. And Brandon was like, he gone. And I'm like, oh. And Erin had the same thing. She had a beautiful buck in front of her, which might have been right at that 140, but it was a 5.5-year-old deer. And I think that's the part they missed out on a little bit was
the age.
If it's 5 or 6 and it's still this, then go ahead and shoot it versus like it's only about the score. And so she was a little frustrated too. But I mean, we've had some great success down there.
Oh,
I mean,
great,
he's got an
great
awesome
place to hunt.
operation.
He's got
a phenomenal operation down there. So
But let's be honest, as hunters, we've all been there. I mean, I've been hunting since I was 12 years old. I've been hunting whitetails, guided whitetails for years upon years, and there's still deer that I look at and I'm like, is he? And it's usually not antler; it's usually body. That's where I look, and there's just times where you can get. I don't know, man, and I err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
Well,
how
we
it goes.
were at SurePoint. This was 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
In the throes of COVID. So it's basically hunt all fall.
Yeah.
So I was filming him.
Yeah.
And I had just shot.
you just
Jumbo.
shot Jumbo.
So I hopped in, in this massive 150 plus inch 8. 100, yeah, we're in Ohio. 150 plus inch 8 rolls through. And the first thing we saw was, man, the body just doesn't look. It's not a Midwestern body. And now, over the years we've hunted Ohio so much, we know they're long-bodied. They're a little sleeker. And even Longshanks that Weston shot last year, he looked like a 3-year-old body, but he was, when we found him this spring, he was the longest deer that I'd ever seen, ever. So we discussed it, and we let him go.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even go to full draw. I had the bow off because when he came over the hill, right, he's 150. So I looked at his antlers, and I'm like, all right, like that, he's a stud. But man, I couldn't get him there. Yeah. And I let him pass, but I was like,
it would have been tougher to let him pass when he was in the wheelhouse.
So we went back and watched the footage later, and I was like, both of us looked at each other like, mistake.
Oh yeah,
mistake.
That's the worst. Is when you look back at it.
Well,
I'm stupid.
I mean, we kind of had an idea we made a mistake because he got up to where we had that old feeder up at the top. And we both looked at him like, oh, damn. Yeah. And then the kitchen sink, rattle, snort, wheeze,
turn him around.
All of it. Chase.
Do it all.
Chase,
but
grunting.
I will say that 8, I believe, is the 8 that came out in muzzleloader season.
It was
a
him.
Misfire from, I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but like the bullet, I could have thrown it out the barrel faster. And it was that same 8. I'm like, God just doesn't want me to shoot that 8 point. It just not going to work out.
That was just
it was
a
insane.
Stag.
So
is what it was.
Yeah, it was. It was a beautiful 8. But there's that age and judging and all that stuff. And I do 95% of the time. I start. I'll see the antlers, okay, great, I know, but I'm going to the body immediately and trying to figure out, is he old enough? That's like a big thing for me.
Does he have chesticles?
Does he waddle? Does he have the sway? Does he have the scar? Like, what is he? Is he an old enough deer? And that's the biggest thing for me, because I've let some big deer go that are 3 years old, and I'm like, I'm fine with that because we're managing. But man, that one was on the border, and probably should have took the shot.
I am also thoroughly convinced that there has been more shooter whitetails, big deer, old deer, mature deer, escape because of this thing. Right here.
Oh yeah, the phone.
Do you know how many people, when they see it, they're like, either they're on it and never see the deer, or they see it and they're like, oh, cool, and they start here. I was guiding a guy a couple of years ago in Illinois, and I literally I had a hay bale blind set up, and I said at 9:30 in the morning, there's going to be 155 to 160 inch 9-point. Come around the corner of that standing corn right there, and he's going to be at 15 yards. So be ready. I mean, this deer was, when you get him like clockwork, like that's how it goes. Yeah. He was ready, but he was ready like this. Wow. And that deer came around the corner, and he started filming, and he's in a hay bale blind, and the deer comes right around the corner, comes through, standing at 12 yards broadside. It's 15 to the corn, so he's on this side of the corn. Literally like 12 yards broadside, he's filming like this out the window. And then all of a sudden you get the and he drops his phone inside the blind. And when he picks it, in the video, and he picks it back up, and he goes like this, and there's no deer. The deer's gone. It's gone. So
could his phone shoot an arrow? Like, what was he doing?
He sends it to me, and he goes, "Is this him?" I'm like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Yes, that's him." What happened?
Let's ground check him.
He's gone. I didn't get to shoot. I dropped my phone. I'm like, oh no. So I swear these things right here have let more deer walk.
Well, yeah. There's
even
no
if they're on vibrate, I mean, in a deer blind, it'll make a racket.
Yep.
Well, you guys were having some fun there in Missouri, because I saw a lot of Snapchat filters going back and forth. That was
boy.
I was on a separate chain of all the.
Uncle Rich jump on the snap train. Where is he over there?
Yeah, Rich is back there.
Rich jumped on it.
Snapper.
Aaron
was on it.
Aaron, everybody jumped on it. You guys, that did kill time for you guys.
It did.
Had a lot of fun.
That's filthy rich.
We had
Actually,
some laughs about that.
It's filthy
tips
rich.
from the deer blind.
I actually downloaded Snapchat years ago for the first time because of Rich, because of the videos he would send. He goes, "Remember, he sent that. Welcome to the Snapper.
Welcome to the Snapper." Them big lips on him and like his short head. So he does a lot of that stuff. I know I saw it going, but Erin, she, when she starts laughing, she starts crying when she's laughing, right? Yeah. So you can see her just about trying to do it, but it was actually so funny to her that she was crying in the video.
Yeah, I heard Ryan did one that was so funny. I swear to God.
Unreal.
Yeah. Well, those are the memories, though. That's what it's about.
Great.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you don't kill a deer, but you get that stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a great camp. We've been to that camp, I don't know, four times. I filmed a couple, hunted in a couple.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite camps.
He's got a great setup. The accommodations there are great. The bedrooms are amazing, comfortable.
He built that 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
Joe-
it was great.
Joe
before that.
Ogden. So
Yeah,
you guys
Joe
already know
Ogden.
who we're talking about. Indian.
Great dude.
Is it Indian Valley or
Indian
River?
Hills.
Indian Hills.
Yep.
Indian Hills. Joe Ogden. Yeah. He built that brand new barn up there, and it's gorgeous.
That's
man.
great.
It really is.
So this fall, what do you have on tap? Anything?
Nothing yet, really. We've got a deer lease down in Texas, down in that Llano area, kind of where the Kerr County floods were. We've got 6,500 acres down there that we hunt. It's got whitetail on it and a bunch of hogs. So we'll go down there and hunt, but nothing else lined up, really. I just got back from Montana and went fishing. Fished the Yellowstone for the first time. Took the wife with me. We had a great time. Fished for a day and then went to the park for a day and tooled around.
It's beautiful country. isn't
Oh,
it?
man.
Yeah.
Just breathtaking.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I still can't get over when you talk to these Texas humans and they say I have a lease.
Yeah.
Like, I got 74,000 acres.
Yeah.
I got 682,000
It gets bigger every time I say it.
There's some doves and a few hogs on it.
Holy shit,
That's
man.
a county up here in Michigan. I
I
got a
got a
county.
lease. I got 81 acres. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got 652,000 acres.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's
Yeah.
just incredible.
That's
There's a lot of land down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say.
So going back to that turkey hunt, let's talk just for a quick second. How good was the barbecue?
Oh, man.
Huh?
What was his
Dodman,
name?
Mike Dodman.
Dodman.
Dottie.
That he needs to own a barbecue place.
He would. Honestly, he would.
He's the definite. He does it with love. Like when you see how much that guy cares about barbecue.
He does, and I think that makes a difference. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, but
Yep.
I mean Texas has got some solid barbecue.
Yeah.
But his barbecue
Yeah.
was good.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
top
He'd
notch.
like to hear that.
He'd love to hear
Oh,
that. It's
yeah.
one of the best in the world,
He
man.
did a phenomenal job.
And when he's done, if you just look at him physically, you can tell he's been out there doing his thing. I mean, he's got like bare feet or his sandals
rolled
are on.
around
He's
on it,
He has
flip-flops.
dirt. It looks like he's rolled in the grill by the
yeah.
time he's done. But when he comes out of there, man, he sits down and he's worked over. But man, and people enjoy his food.
Oh, and it's all about he wants you to enjoy the food.
Yep.
And he wants you to tell him that you
yeah.
enjoyed the food.
Dottie, oh man, he does
One
that
of a kind.
every year. We do that once a year, and I look forward to it. And he'll do the barbecue out there at the ranch, and it's like when it's time, it's like, oh man, it's time. And we're trying to do one before, like just before the season kicks off. Do another one where we all go out and hang out and do a barbecue. I think would be amazing. But
should.
But yeah, those burnt ends and
The burnt ends, and he did the brisket, and something about what a Spanish egg or something.
Scotch eggs.
Scottish.
Yeah, Scotch eggs.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess
man.
those are his claim to fame.
Yeah,
You
they
only
are.
eat one per year, otherwise you're guaranteed a heart attack. They're so good.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. You bite into one of Dottie's ribs, and he watches you as you eat. Like, I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but he'll like watch you, and so you can bite into it and give like one of those, and he'll be like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? A little salty? Try salty?" Yeah, like in his Dodman ways, like he's like, "What's wrong? Is there something wrong?" And you're like, "No, I'm just messing with you."
Yeah.
So,
He's a good guy.
yeah, it's
Makes
fun.
his own barbecue sauce, a Schuster recipe all
Pearls.
the way down. Yeah, pearls and that like vinegar sauce and everything. I mean, it's all just top notch. So barbecue.
Dynamite.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I know.
We had barbecue last night.
Yeah, we did.
That was good too.
It was good. It wasn't Dottie barbecue.
No, it wasn't
No,
Dottie.
not even close. But
Well, it's good, though.
It was good barbecue.
So what's next for Winchester Safes? What do you guys got cooking? I know there's probably stuff that you can't really talk about, but what's cooking? What's on the agenda for you guys? What can you talk about?
So we're going to continue our innovation, and you'll see some of that at SHOT Show.
Yep.
We haven't changed the product line in a big way in a number of years, and there's reasons for that. The dealer base kind of wants to keep some consistency with the product, so we don't want to kind of change things too much. But we're coming out with a couple of things that will kind of change the platform for us next year. Some of these features that we've been doing, we've kind of sprinkled it through some different series. We're going to take some of those features and just add it to all the series.
Just standardize it.
Just standardize it.
Yeah.
So there's some good features out there, so no reason why we should just isolate it to a couple of different series. Let's go ahead and put that feature on all of them and just make it available top to bottom. So
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, some different colors probably, but certainly more stuff to promote the consumer interacting with the product more.
Yeah. Very cool.
Well, I love the designs. Like, so I've got the gray Evolution with a mountain scape on the front of it. And it's a beautiful safe. Awesome. And you have the We the People.
We the People.
We the People is that is a sweet looking safe as well.
Bachman's got that one, doesn't she?
Yeah, Bachman's. Yeah.
You know what would be really cool, and this comes a lot from the fly fishing world. And I know you were just out in Montana, but some of the artists and the artwork that's out there. And I immediately go to like Kirby and some of Ryan Kirby's artwork. And I don't know if it would ever be something that would be cool to look at getting on a safe, but some of Kirby's artwork is it's tremendous.
Well, and to match up with the actual ammo boxes themselves with some of the stuff that he's done.
and then you know, in my mind, I look at it. Then your safe becomes a piece of art, and it becomes an expression. Again, going back to trying to get people to interact with it more, it becomes like an expression. You see it a lot now, actually happening in like cities. Like they did it here, where they went around and all the big metal boxes that hide the electric and stuff, they painted and they like did cool stuff with. You could almost take that approach with a safe. So maybe something to look into.
Yeah, that's cool.
Customize it to the, whether it's a painting or something, an airbrush painting of grandson's first deer or something. Do all kinds of different stuff.
Customize it.
Yeah, for sure. Sweet.
Yeah.
Real quick, I know you guys talk about the testing that you guys do, the fire testing. It's rated at 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120. How do you get that rating? And is it, talk about that process.
Burn shit, probably.
Yeah.
We burn stuff. Yeah. So we've worked with the lab down in Texas, Intertech Lab, and they've got a big furnace, and only a couple of labs have got furnaces large enough to test gun safes. But Intertech's got a lab. They've got a furnace large enough, and we've done testing with that lab exclusively for years. And we've tested things from 30 minutes all the way up to 3 hours. And the way they test things is they put a gun safe in their furnace, and they put 3 thermal couples inside, one down below, one in the middle, and then one up top. Close the door, heat the furnace up, and the first time any one of those thermal couples reaches 350, fire test is over. That's your failure point. So if it goes 45 minutes, then and it pops, then that's your benchmark. So you're 45 minutes at 1400. If it goes 2 hours, then you're good for 2 hours. The trick to getting higher fire ratings is additional layers of fire protection in the body, more on the top and in the walls and the sides. And then, but the limiting factor really, and there is a limiting factor, is the door seal. We all use this Palisol door seal, and it expands 10 times its static thickness when it hits a temperature. But there's no other seals out there that are better than that. So Gun Safe Market's been trying to get these guys to develop a seal that snaps faster or reacts faster, so we can get these fire ratings better. But the testing is pretty aggressive. I mean, 1400 degrees is pretty hot. It's super, super hot. That safe is glowing red. The first thing that goes is the keypad. That melts off right away. It's either Zamac or plastic. That melts off. And then usually the graphics catch on fire, which is kind of cool. And you're peering through,
seeing it all.
The Winchester kind of catches on fire. That's kind of a cool factor. But and then the thing just gets glowing red, and but it's a super aggressive test.
We got to film that.
I was just thinking that we have to. That'd be
especially
awesome.
in like frame rate. In my mind, I have this visual of just like flames just.
Well, and like it outgasses, and you got gas coming from the outside or the inside out, and it's flaming around the door gap, and it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. You're limited a little bit on what you can see because you're looking through a sight glass and a furnace, and it's pretty thick. But it's pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
So what's the temperature a gun can take? I know 350 is the internal rating, but is that about the number where stuff starts to get melted and
paper starts to char at 350?
Okay.
We've had safes of ours subjected to fires that saw temperatures at 350. Guns are fine. Ammo discharges at different temperatures. So we're kind of being told by the ammo guys, keep ammo down low. A lot of guys are storing ammo separately now because you could have a fire perfectly fine. Maybe it sees internal temperature 250 or 300. Ammo still could go off, so it's good to keep your ammo separate because you could still have ammo go off, and then all your guns are all screwed up. We keep them. I'd suggest keep them separate.
Yeah.
Well, I had an ammo explosion story. This is the last time we went on drops. It was the week before, and I was testing a solar battery.
Yeah.
One of our solar batteries.
In the garage, right?
Yeah, and it had a little bit of a swell to it. And I threw it on my workbench and charged it overnight. And I'm down hammering. We had like a UA film or something. I was working nonstop on trying to get it done. And just by chance, my wife and son came home. He had an appointment, dentist appointment or something. And she said, she was in the kitchen. She's like, there's exploding in the garage. I can hear some. She says, Jay, what's exploding in the garage? I'm like, I don't know. So I came up and walk out to the garage, and there's flames all the way up to the top of almost to the top of the ceiling of my garage. And
Which is like 18 feet. Like
it's way up there, and I'm like, oh my God. And ammo's exploding. And what had happened is that battery cell started on fire, caught the ammo on fire, the top of my desk or my workbench. And just by chance, I had because my dad always says, I've got fire extinguishers all over in the house, just in case. Yep. He was a safety guy for Dow. So he was like, hey, you got to put, blah, blah, blah. So I ripped it off the wall, pulled the shit out and just sprayed everything down. Yep. But it worked great. I've never sprayed a fire extinguisher before. I'm like, damn,
Can you just
that went everywhere.
Show everybody how you have to do that one more time. How does
it
that
was
go?
just a ripping of every plastic thing off there, ripping it off, and it's blanketed it, and instantly it was done. And I was just thinking, God, if I would have been down there by myself. Yep. And they wouldn't have been home. Yep. The first thing I would have heard was the smoke detector in my kitchen probably go off because my whole garage would have been gone.
It's too late at that point.
At that point, my whole house would continue to have been gone. So I don't know how that happened, and I do remember this. I'll never forget this. I was down there hammering that out, and Casey came over with his shop vac and vacuumed because there was black soot everywhere. Yeah. And I didn't even know he was there. He came down, he was sweat, and he fucking vacuumed my whole garage out. And I appreciate that so much, man. That's what brothers do.
It was the smoke was on cobwebs.
It was on cobwebs.
I looked at the webs. I'm like, Jay's not gonna like those webs. They're covered in smoke.
No, like those webs.
So I went over and vacuumed all the smoke and the cobwebs.
But it was a day like it was this week. It was 90-some degrees, and he's so sweaty. He's like, does he think there's any other spots you need? I'm like, what are you doing here?
Oh, we had an edit project, and you were stuck buried in the hole.
And it was like we had to leave in 2 days, and you know how it is before you leave for drops. You're trying to get things done, and it was just it was hell. But yeah, man. So thanks.
Nobody plans a fire.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's how it happens. Just something simple like that, and bam, off it goes.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why I have safes.
You didn't do like those YouTube videos. You ever see those people pop pepper spray on YouTube and it's pointing at them? You didn't do that with the fire extinguisher?
No.
Light yourself up. Wrong way. That's funny.
Yeah. So you can't plan that stuff, but
can't plan it.
I do have a Winchester safe in my garage now, so I'm pretty confident that would have held at least what's in it.
Yeah, that would have helped. That would have helped.
So yeah.
So on that note, I don't know if you know this or not, but we did not have ammo separate when Chris burned his truck to the ground.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the internal temp of the Silverado?
Have you ever heard this story?
I never heard this.
It's funny. I was gonna set that up. This is ridiculous.
Oh, my Lord.
You gotta tell this story.
Go for it.
For some of us, the hunt never stops. Grizzly understands that more than most. Rugged, reliable, and built to never back down. Whether you're on the trail, by the water, or deep in the dark timber, Grizzly is by your side. Tough enough to take on the wild and ready for whatever you can throw. Grizzly is committed to products that never let you down. Always on the hunt with Grizzly.
Out here in the wild, precision isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Leupold Optics is built on the foundation of American craftsmanship, where every features function first. For over a century now, they've combined dedication and technology with a relentless put-it-to-the-test attitude, creating optics that stand up when everything else stands down. When it matters most, you need the best. That's what you get with Leupold Optics. While other companies out there warranty failure, Leupold guarantees performance for life.
Some call it out on the trail. I like to call it the road less traveled. The kind of place where the going gets tough. That's where Tracker Off-Road comes in. Made for those who won't back down. Tracker Off-Road delivers the hardest working machines with the greatest capability at the strongest value in the industry. Built by those who know what it takes and designed for those who don't turn back. Tracker is dedicated to delivering machines that let you get the most out of your day and your dollar. Ready to take on your next adventure? Go with Tracker Off-Road.
Every shot counts. And when it's time to make it count, you want the best. Winchester Ammunition has built its legacy on a commitment to innovation by continuously pushing what's possible. In the heartland of America, the American legend crafts ammunition that's purpose-built, reliable, accurate, and ready to perform no matter how harsh the conditions. Whether you're hunting or shooting for sport, Winchester will be there.
We did
Burnmaster General.
We did a controlled burn.
Controlled burn.
We did a controlled burn.
By we, he means him.
Yeah. So basically,
It was not controlled.
Nothing
it was for a period of time, and then it wasn't.
Nope.
So I got a Chevy 2500 HD diesel. I got an aluminum trailer on the back. That's probably 20-foot aluminum trailer with, at the time, a Polaris Ranger.
Jason's trailer. Jason's Ranger.
Polaris Ranger. Jason's trailer.
2 weeks worth of Winchester work.
We go to Kansas,
8
we turkey
guns,
hunt, and
all
we
our
filmed
cameras.
everything for a new ammo launch at the time. Longbeard at the time. It was
Longbeard.
actually Longbeard, the first one, right?
Everything.
So we go to Kansas. We have a week. We're at a camp. We're good, and it was burn season. So we were burning the farm, and we broke everything down. We put it in the truck. Everything. I mean,
We got to run.
everything
We
was
got to
in the
run
truck.
this video, by the way. in
Yeah,
this
we'll
podcast.
get that video and put it up here and show it. But everything was in the truck, okay? And then we decide before we hit the road, let's take that truck and we're gonna go eat. So when we left, the fire was controlled around camp to where we thought it was, basically, and we were like, it's not gonna come down here, and it was burning. I mean, the farm was burning. It was a controlled burn on all the fields. Yes, go ahead.
He has a
He has a question.
Very last thing I said.
Yeah.
Is everybody good with the position of that truck right there? Oh, yeah, it's fine.
We're like,
Continue.
you know me, I'm hard on shit. So I'm like, yeah, it looks fine. I'm like, and now when I say it's controlled, the fire was probably 50 feet away from the truck, not like 500 feet away. Like it was just like up on the hill. And we're like, nah, I think we're fine because it was going it was back burning into itself. So eventually, you know, those fires when you're burning your crops and stuff like that, it should go out. Should. Well, it changed direction. So we're coming back from lunch. Excuse me. We're coming back from lunch, and there is black smoke billowing. Oh boy! Beyond anything I've ever seen before. Like
3 miles away. You see
it's
it.
miles.
It's Kansas.
That usually
middle of
miles
Kansas.
away.
According to the
Miles.
farmer, black smoke just ain't right.
It just ain't right. So, so we're coming down the road, and I said, it's probably the shed. It's got to be the shed. Because there was a shed there. And I said, it's got to be the shed. And now we're getting closer to the point where then I go, is it my truck? It can't be my truck, is it? So we come around, and the farmer, he pulls up next to us. And right then I said, what is it? He goes, man, I come over here. Black smoke just ain't right. I said, I know. What is it? He goes, it's gone. All of it. I said, what do you mean all of it? He goes, your truck's on fire. Oh, wow. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
My initial reaction was, I think you hear it in the video, my shoes are in the truck.
Yeah.
Because I had my rubber boots on still. Oh,
It goes from us and me and Shock to we pull up. Well,
Fireworks.
talk about fireworks and ammo.
Yeah.
It's
Cases.
all of the brand new cases of Longbeard are in the truck.
wow.
Not to mention the propane tanks from all the grills, the gas from the Ranger, the gas from the truck. This truck exploded at least 4 different times, and
It's all on video
the
too.
bullets were like, we were sitting there and we go, it was flying. And so the fire department, we called them, and the guy's like, yeah, man, we're not doing we're not doing shit till that thing starts shooting at us.
Yeah.
Because it was you couldn't get up there and put the fire out, you get shot. I mean, the bullets were going off like crazy. Not to mention, like my truck, I have a lot of bullets in there anyway. And we had passports, laptops, footage, cameras,
Guns.
everything from the entire
Not
trip.
to mention, this was a 1-year-old Silverado 2500 HD diesel.
Yeah. It was all of our clothes. It was everything. We actually had to, I got a rental car, and we had to call Cabela's, and we went to the Bass Pro Shops in Kansas City
And shopped.
and had to get clothes.
I got a pair of shoes.
Yeah, because we didn't have any clothes. So we called them and we're like, guys, we're
I
going
had
to
to fly
stop
home
in.
and I didn't have any
We had to stop home and get and so we stopped there and we got stuff that we needed, and then we went on our way, and it laid there melted because that aluminum trailer melted like RoboCop.
Like Terminator's face.
Liquid running aluminum going down. So they put it out. After a while, they put it out, and we went back and looked at it, and I just couldn't believe
Well,
it.
you called me, so I wasn't on this trip. I was coaching a little league travel baseball game back in, I don't know, the boys, Gibson was 12 or something in Battle Creek. You called me up. You FaceTimed me.
Yeah.
You said, hey, something happened. So what? Well, your Ranger is not here anymore. The trailer it was on,
I lost your
gone.
I said, I lost your gas cap.
Yeah, I lost.
Remember I said,
that's
I go,
right.
the problem is I lost the gas cap on your Ranger. He's like, oh, that's fine. I go, well, that was the problem until I burn it to the ground. I said that I was already nervous about telling him I lost the gas cap. Now I have to call him and tell him the whole thing's gone. There's nothing left. It was a frame sitting on. It wasn't even half a frame. It was like melting.
So
I've never seen a fire burn that hot.
It's unreal. And so by chance, my assistant or my coach, that's coaching with me, he's our insurance guy.
Yeah.
And I said, Kurt.
He's right next to him.
I said, Kurt, something bad happened. He's like, I don't even want to know until after the tournament.
Don't tell me.
He said, don't tell me.
Don't tell me.
And
Take
he's
pictures
the
of
best.
everything.
Yiter Insurance, they're the best.
Yeah.
And
He goes, take pictures of everything. I was like,
take pictures
all
of
right,
everything,
sounds good.
make me a list. He's like, I said, it's not going to be an easy one for you. He's like, God damn it. But it is what it is, and that's why you have it, and they're really good. But
man.
anyway, the pictures, though, you got shot afterwards. Working on the
jumped in there. I jumped in like I was working, sitting in the driver's
Charred.
seat.
we got to post some of those.
No windshield on the hood, charred hood, and in case I have laptops out, and there's nothing. It's burnt screens. We're just sitting like this, typing in the front seat. There's no seat. There's no anything.
All you guys are just sitting. You're sitting in the frame of the truck.
Yeah.
And you're just acting like you're driving down the road like nothing happened. But
Nothing
there,
left
it's a
of this thing.
Because at that point, what do? You laugh.
You have to.
What are you
Yeah,
going to
dude.
do? It's like there's
fix
the
it.
initial shock, and then you got to laugh about it, right? Like,
So the plan was the guys, AB and Lee, were going to leave, and I think Rock was there. We're going to leave with the truck. We had to fly home. They were going to stop in Missouri on the way and hunt and do more Longbeard stuff and everything else. Well, there's no truck now to do that, and I think we had one gun that was in the rental at the time. So they had one shotgun to make it happen. And the rental place only had a Dodge Charger or something.
Yeah, they did.
So they went turkey hunting, and they got pictures of them like sitting on the hood of a badass Dodge Charger with these birds and all this stuff because
and they made it to Missouri in like an hour.
Yeah.
Like, they drove so fast.
yeah, there's just there's nothing.
But
you
for
can do.
still to this day, everything's in the
Everything.
For like a year, you're like, oh, where's my sunglasses? God damn, it was in the truck. Where's that one? Where's my buck knife? Oh, that was in the truck. Everything was in the truck.
Yeah.
Everything's in the truck.
There's two things though that piss me off more than anything. This goes back to like the stories of shit you lose, and they would be meaningless, and there's like virtually zero value to them. Like to buy another one, it would cost me like $12. One was I had a hat in there that was like. It was a good hat. You guys know?
Oh, yeah.
You know a
We're
good
talking
hat.
about hat
It's a
guys,
good
so,
hat.
yeah, I get it.
That damn hat was in the truck, and then the other was one of my neck gaiters. And they don't even make that neck gaiter anymore, and that son of a bitch burnt to the ground.
Yeah, fast, real fast.
Yep.
So,
And I had $600 cash, and the insurance company never gave me that back.
yeah.
They're like, yeah, sure you did.
Yeah, sure.
I'm like, I swear to God, I had $600.
Who carries
They're like,
cash?
Okay,
Sure
buddy.
you did.
So it still pissed me off.
Yeah, my golf clubs were in there too. My PXGs, they were in there.
Well, yeah, that weren't even invented
Yeah,
yet.
weren't even invented yet. I'm like, these are PXG golf clubs. They're
The big
$16,000.
problem-
No.
The big problem was we had shot all that footage for the Longbeard XR release.
Killed a couple gobblers. I
Like,
mean,
that's
everything.
what we were doing there. We were filming this brand new ammo and testing to see if it all worked and everything else.
Also, not a call I wanted to make.
we lost all of it. Oh.
I burned all your guns to the ground. All your ammo's gone, and also, so is all the footage. So we're gonna have to go turkey hunting somewhere else, and we'll get it. I mean, we did. We turned it around. We got a lot of kills. We did it, but it was a disaster. So
What do you guys ever think? I don't remember, but like, did we get 70%, 60% of the cost back of all the gear and everything?
I feel like we got it all.
'Cause
Honestly,
we
I
had
mean,
cameras out the ass, laptops, hard
we put the
drives,
list together,
cards.
and Kurt, he was like,
He was
put
pretty
it on
damn
there.
good,
He was
man.
great, and because we have good, I mean, we pay a lot for our insurance
yeah,
too.
we do.
I think
Business
what it
insurance.
came down to at the end of the day was because everything was in the truck, you can only remember so much.
Right.
And then it would be like
That's what I
6
mean,
months
yeah.
later, and I'd be like, oh, that was in
Yeah.
the truck too. And you didn't put it on the list or something for sure.
Well, yeah, for
But,
you, there's sunglasses,
had
knives.
just
You
packed
can't.
it.
I mean,
And I had stuff in that truck. I mean, I do that because
Baby pictures.
my truck is.
You had a
it's
sunglass
my-
hut in there.
Yeah, it's my virtual office, right? So I mean, I have so much stuff in there. The back has got all the gear in it. It's dialed, and it's the same way right now. And oddly enough, I have a flat tire that I have to go change after.
crazy.
this.
That's weird.
It's crazy.
Sidewall explosion.
Sidewall explosion.
What happened there?
Last night, I got to go
Curb
change
monster.
a tire as soon as we're done with this. So yeah, oddly enough, the truck. Everything's in the truck. I was gonna stock that safe this morning, but everything's in the truck.
It's crazy.
So yeah.
So that's how I know about ammunition exploding, because I was listening to it whiz by my head as I started to walk. We left. We were like, we can't be up here. I heard that first.
Yeah.
Like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I saw what Longbeard does to turkeys. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to see what it does to me.
And I had other ammo in there, 10 millimeter, 9 millimeter, all that stuff was still in the truck. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to a couple good days here. It's exciting to have you in, Greg. We appreciate you coming in, and we appreciate all the support Winchester Safes has given us, and we believe in the products and what you guys do and the family business. And make sure you say hi to Kyle for us.
I will.
Yeah. And all the whole team down there. You got an amazing team. Social media has been awesome lately. The girls are doing a fantastic job. I love seeing some of the stuff you guys are doing in the office. So if you're not following along, follow Winchester Safes on Instagram. They're doing some cool stuff. So
Yeah, give everybody a quick rundown. Where can they find you? Websites and all that kind of stuff.
Website is winchestersafes.com, and you can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I think that's it.
All the places.
all the
nowadays,
places,
right?
Yeah.
All the spots.
That's awesome. Well, look forward to some really cool stuff coming up at base camp. It's going to be fun. We're going to have that out pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. And otherwise, you guys have another great day. Thanks for listening.
Mama say it's a new day, son.